Hi, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris News.
You can fly over, you can fly, you can fly over, you can fly, you can fly over.
Magic over Disney announced.
Keep the receipts. The Grange extends.
We could just read the news, you know.
We haven't done it silly for a while.
I know that we always get a bit out of hand with stuff like that. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Disney fans, and welcome to another Disneyland Paris show. If you don't know, I'm Lucy, and this is Hugh, and this is Chris, and we're here to talk about Disneyland Paris with you. But most of you know that. We're seeing some familiar faces in the chat, but we're also seeing some new faces in the chat, which is exciting. But what I would like to know is people's countdowns, because ours is 7 days.
Oh, shut up. Honestly.
I mean, I don't know when you count the Disneyland Paris holidays starting. We're actually setting off on Saturday, but we're staying in London for one night. So
It starts as soon as you lock that door, I think.
in that case, 6 days.
Woohoo!
Woo!
That's some exciting stuff.
It's very exciting. I can't wait to be back, and we will be boots on the ground.
I'd be acting more excited. I was just doing a sound check on the live.
Yeah. I'm
Video
gonna
there.
turn you up a little bit, speaking of sound checks.
Yep. Always worth turning me up.
We're back to the good microphones today because the new microphones last week weren't very good, so I sent them back this week. 2 days later, they came back to me again because I forgot to take the original label off the postage. So they're still on their way back.
And last night was Christopher's Papa's
Yes.
80th birthday party. Now, that may sound like a sedate affair, but you have never met Christopher's Papa.
It was like.
It was.
Oh yeah.
They were drinking all night. It was crazy. So I was designated driver, but I can't speak because I was shouting over the jazz band.
Yeah, and I'm just very hoarse. But actually, I think it works for me. I think it's quite a good little.
I'm fine.
Are you fine?
You are fine. You're
Absolutely fine.
good. Lucky you.
There you go.
I know when to stop.
Copperberg for the win.
I had 3 Copperbergs and a little shot of something, and at one point I thought I could have another. No, that might spoil it.
That's, ladies and gents.
That's maturity.
Yeah.
Is the news.
Yeah, that was the news.
I was going to call it maturity. You took the words out of my mouth. Hugh, who's in the chat?
Oh, let's find out.
Who are they?
Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up!
All aboard, please.
Well done, Hugh.
Thanks. Listeners, I forgot my whistle, so I had to run off for it. Dunn family, obviously, are first in the chat and say, hello, look who... Well, they actually say, looks who's first in the chat again.
Oh, looks who should have proofread their
I've said
post.
before.
In too much of a rush.
It gets boring. It's like Serena Williams winning Wimbledon. We're like, we know.
No, I like it. But if you're not in the chat, if you leave a comment and then you disappear again, doesn't count.
Nah.
Just so you know, I'm not saying they've done that, but just so you know. Because it's happened before, hasn't it? Cheryl was second, who's happy to take second place. 114 days countdown for DLP, and looks like we'll be doing Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party next August before our cruise.
Oh, nice.
So another countdown too. double countdowns, and sat doing a Snow White 1,000-piece jigsaw I got from the charity shop while watching tonight.
Ooh, nice.
I love doing jigsaws, but we only do them at Christmas, and I'm not sure why. It's like a family tradition, but we all gather round, and it's fun.
I bought some in January, and I set a reminder on my phone for mid-November that just says Jigsaw's Garage. So I got 2 from the works, the very traditional Christmas scenes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you'll like them, Lucy. I don't think I showed you them. Dunn family has 93 days to Walt Disney World. Doing Mickey's Merry Christmas Party. Anyone else done that? Asks the Dunn family. Mickey's Not So Scary was awesome. Only thing was we did 29th of August, so Halloween was so long.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Now, we're starting to see Walt Disney World vloggers posting videos about Halloween, which there starts like now.
They did a halfway to Halloween though as well, didn't they? Back in April or something for a day.
But I can't tune into that yet. So I don't watch any of those videos because I love Halloween so much that I can only really enjoy it when it's Halloween.
I think for you British folk, or for people who come from further north in North America and things like that, it's all about the weather turning. That's when Halloween starts. And sometimes that's mid-September, sometimes a bit later. But it's the minute that the weather turns, I start to feel Halloweeny. I suppose in Orlando, makes no difference, because that weather ain't turning. The lady is not for turning.
Yeah.
Alid says, happy Irish bank holiday. Less than a month until Anaheim for us. Woo!
Oh, nice.
Fiona and Janet watching too. Hi, Fiona and Janet.
Hi, Fiona and Janet.
Hi, pals.
Gorsh.
John is here, as usual, and says good evening. Well, it doesn't say good evening. He says evening, everyone. So sorry, John, I messed that up.
He's editing you, John.
Pamela says, hey, everyone. And Jimmy is
Pamela.
here. Jimmy says, just booked a last-minute Walt Disney World trip for next month.
Oh, man.
That's
the dream, that.
Yeah, man.
I'd
love to do that.
Aspire to doing a last-minute trip like that. You know, just going, you know what, I just fancy it.
Because
got a week off.
We've got until next May to wait for Walt Disney World, and then after that, we're going to have to take a year off because we don't have the points unless we want to pay for it out of with cash. I'm not sure about that. I want to, but, you know, with times as they are, I don't know.
If we're paying cash, there's always a possibility of doing a different park.
More on that later?
Perhaps.
Yeah. Who is Nate? Who is Nate? Says with a question mark. Hey everybody, I think this group should have a name. How about the 37 Disney Street Urchins?
Street urchins. How about the 37 Disney Street Walkers?
What if there's more than 37 of them though? Because then you couldn't call them the 37 Disney Street Urchins.
There's 34 we've got. Well, you know, as I said that, it went down to 31.
31 Disney Street Urchins.
I think 3 people got offended by the notion of being called an urchin and they just logged off. Just like that.
Wow.
So hi to Nate.
Rude.
And Gemma says, hello, the whole family is watching tonight to get ready for our trip in 6 days.
Yeah, all right, we need to make it seem especially magical to amp up the excitement in that house.
I'm trying. I've got a really bad hangover.
Haven't we?
So I'm trying my best to pull myself to life.
Haven't we previously determined that we'd be there at the same time as Gemma? And,
Yes, I think you had, yeah.
Find us and there'll be stickers.
You found your
overlapping.
stickers now, haven't you?
I did. They were behind a bottle of rum.
Did you set yourself a reminder?
You
and
guys are making this very much Disney After Dark at the moment with your hangovers and your rum. Can we bring it back down to, you know, the pot?
Drink responsibly, but do drink.
I like wine.
Hello to Wits.
Yes, you do.
Wits Wanderlust, who says hi everyone.
Hey, Winnie.
Sugar Sweet Samantha, aka Sugar Sweet Mama, says hello everyone. 108. You do remember that because you're both just looking blankly. But she's also aka Sugar Sweet Mama.
We got it. Continue.
Yeah. Carry on with that.
From previous show. Hello everyone. 183 days until I get to go back to DLP. I am beyond excited. It's been almost a year since my last trip.
Wow.
And also we have Emma and Katia and Pauline. Sorry, didn't do a trip report. Can I help with tips though if needed? Whatever
You can send us some tips, Pauline. That'd be great.
Whatever you can give us.
Anything you want. Yeah.
Scottish Claire returns. Hello, Scottish Claire.
You're all just helping by being here,
Magical by Sarah is in the chat.
involving yourselves in the discussion.
Pamela has 188 days till next DLP trip. Well, gel of 7 days. What about 6 days, what Gemma has? Maria is here and says hi. I said Maria with a bit of a flair there. It's probably just Maria, but Maria says hi. 64 days for me with 2 sparkly stars emojis. Dunn family have 93 days to Walt Disney World and 141 to Christmas at DLP. Have we already said that? And 120 days for Emma. Finally decided our DLP dates. Let's start with this one. Hey everyone, super excited for tonight's show. And we also have... No, that's it. That's everyone.
But Pamela loves my dungarees. You weren't going to give me that wee compliment, were you?
Oh.
Just with all these countdowns, when do you get, like...
Oh, no. Sorry. Who is Nate? Nate was saying, sorry, guys, it's just a thought. I like urchins.
Well, that's what we should... Yeah.
37 street urchins.
I love street urchins.
Yeah.
I like streetwalkers.
I dig it.
Yeah, with your countdowns, when do you get really excited? To me, it's just an arbitrary number until it tips 100, and then when it gets to 99 days, I start to get really excited, and then that ramps up at 28 days. Do you have a number?
22.
22. There you go. I find that I get really excited the moment I've booked it, and I'm very excited for quite a long time after that, and then it dies down. And you go like that, and then probably around. I'm going to say, what did you say, 28? You said 20?
22.
I'm going to say 24 days. I'm going to say 24.
Split the difference. Emma's already excited. We brought new Disney luggage.
Oh, nice.
You see, that's where that does get me excited when I'm able to like shop, because I have a permanent like Disney bag ready to go. And
just in case.
Yeah, like through the year I'm buying things. Oh, that'll do for the Disney trip. And rather than go in the wardrobe, it just goes straight in the Disney bag. Because that's what it's for, you see.
Jimmy's at the airport. Airplane emoji.
Wow. Going to Disney?
Yeah. Where exactly was it you were going, Jimmy? Do clarify. Do remind us, as we often forget.
I know there's lots going on in the chat, but honestly and truthfully, I'm so thirsty. Can we...
Yeah.
Can we tiki some cups, please?
I was thinking that. Go for it.
Hey, ole, it's showtime. All together. Your tiki, 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 tiki cup in your tiki, 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 tiki cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, now drink it up from your tiki, 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 tiki cup.
Got a return of the geeky tiki Star Wars
Sand person.
Jawa.
Jawa?
Incorrect. Jawa, which Chris got me, which I usually use at lunchtime.
I see your lunchtime.
This is my lunchtime cup.
Very good.
But today, Chris and I are enjoying Tropical Blast, Zero Sugar, which is basically lilt, pineapple and grapefruit. What's Lucy having?
Well, I am very unadventurous with my my beverages usually. However, on our click and collect Tesco shop, we had a substitution for, I can't even remember what I ordered. It'll have been some apple juice based drink. But instead, I got given this Purdy's Natural Energy Rejuvenate Grape and Apple with, is that ginseng or ginseng? Ginseng.
That's you not sleeping tonight then.
Oh, is that, does that wake you up then?
I mean, natural energy kind of implies
Oh, really?
that,
Should
that
I not
it's
have
probably
it?
going to be, I don't know.
I'm going to spice things up with some spiced rum with roasted
I
pineapple.
think you'll be alright. But
Okay. I'm committed now.
yeah, do it. Do
Might
it.
not.
Do you want a dash of this for flavour, Chris?
Yeah, go on.
Just for flavour.
I literally just stuck it in my nose.
He's driving.
Ooh,
You don't want it back, do you?
that smells quite like...
Anyway.
I don't know about that.
Anyway, we weren't silent there.
Got silent a little bit.
Do
Sorry.
you know-
Apologies.
So, should we do some news?
Just to answer who is Nate, I know exactly what that term means.
What term was that?
Streetwalkers.
Oh, okay.
37 Disney streetwalkers.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay. News?
News.
News. Oh, news. That's
Yeah,
me.
Lucy. Just staring out.
Come on, boys. We need to make this really up and exciting and magical for everybody today.
I know. Well, do you know what's exciting? I'm going to start at the end. I like to do things in reverse order.
Good,
Start at
yes.
the end finally. So, In the village, there is a buffet restaurant. You may or may not have been to it. It is above Billy Bob's. Billy Bob's is kind of a country style bar.
Yeehaw!
But they have like line dancing and skiffle bands on the stage and stuff like that. It's quite cool. And then above it, there is the Grange at Billy Bob's, to give it its full name.
Grange, Billy Bob's.
And that is it's a Tex-Mex buffet restaurant. It's one of our favourites.
Yes, I liked it a lot as well.
It was the first one we went to, in 2016 when we first landed.
When we first took Bonnie, the first place we went was there. And Lucy, bless her, was so enamoured with everything that they gave us a horrible seat, and Lucy said, "This is lovely, thank you." And we were looking out to some building
Bins.
top. Some dirty building top. And Lucy, bless her, said, "This is lovely." And I thought,
Everything's so magical.
This isn't lovely.
But
That's my takeaway memory, is you saying something that's
it's
lovely.
quite cool. It's quite dining roomish. It's quite open, but it's very wooden, and it's a bit of a maze. You have to there's several different rooms and stairs and stuff.
It's also a little bit disappointing because it's upstairs, and when you walk in, you're like, "Oh, this is really nice in here," and then
Yeah.
you go upstairs, and it's not quite as nice.
Well, no,
but
it is still nice. They've got
it
the
is
wooden
nice. It's not
thing.
quite as nice though.
Got the wooden floorboards, and like
Yeah.
I say, they've got several multiple levels and stuff. However, like a lot of the restaurants, they do pack the tables close together, and because it's a buffet restaurant, there's lots of people walking around, lots of kids going to get extra desserts and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. However, we do enjoy it. We enjoy all the buffet restaurants at Disneyland Paris. And the good news about this is they have now, to create additional seating, particularly I think during the refurb of the village, because they've lost Cafe Mickey's and they keep losing other things from time to time to refurb and refront things. They've extended the capacity by pushing into Buffalo Bills. Sorry, I forgot what it was called then. Pushing into Buffalo Bills. So it sounds like they basically knocked a wall down to get into the what used to be the bar and pre-show area of Buffalo Bills to create an additional area. So that may mean, and that's happened.
Yeah.
That's open now. So that has created additional capacity in that restaurant. So if you're there and you want to sort of hedge your bets, where might we get a seat, that could now be a better bet than places like Annette's and going to one of the hotel ones. We also do recommend it. They are using the seats from Cafe Mickey.
Which is nicely themed to Tex-Mex.
Well, I thought that was outside though, you know. The picture I saw.
Yeah, the picture I saw was outside as well. Yeah.
So I don't know if they're using it
It's
in
they
there.
like the veranda or something.
Never went in Cafe Mickey, did we?
No, and it was always on the list. And then they took it away from us.
We booked it, and then it closed.
Remind us what's happening to it.
Oh, it's turning
It's becoming
into Rosalie.
Yeah.
Rosalie.
What's that?
It's gonna have grass on the outside of it.
Oh, yeah. That clears that up.
It's
Baguettes.
It's a bistro restaurant, which probably means it's going to be basic French things. It's not going to be character run. I think that they have outsourced it to a franchise, and the concept art just has one of those plant walls wrapping it. So it's got an eco-friendly kind of theme. It looks like it would fit very nicely in Village Nature, if you know the kind of the aesthetic there.
Yeah.
It looks like that kind of thing. And it beats Le Old Pub, or whatever we're calling
Royal Pub.
the Royal Pub.
The old pub.
You know,
The-
you know what I'm
The
talking about.
Royal Pub.
Le. So yeah, so I recommend, you know, if you're wandering around, wondering where to eat, that's probably a good bet for you from now on. Yay.
Yay.
Emma says Jason, Provost Park Pass, has been to Tokyo recently and has some really good videos up. We went through a phase of watching
We
them,
did.
didn't we?
It did a lot of cruises.
Yeah.
And we must have been getting ready for a cruise.
You ever seen him, Chris?
No.
They're a family, but he often does it on his own.
Oh, no. That's not what I'm thinking of. Oh, yeah, Provost Park Pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wears,
He wears his tie.
how do I say this nicely?
Shirt and tie every day.
Not very nice ties. They're really sort of like, they're kind of like something you wear to the office or maybe even a wedding. They're just really sort of plain silk ties. It's
He
surprising.
does some good fact
Nice.
videos.
He's a nice guy,
about
yeah.
Disneyland.
Don't like his
and
ties.
things. Yeah.
I've been watching vlogs. I started watching vlogs this week on F-telling. I decided that I wanted to see whether it was any good or not. And
And what's that, Chris?
F-telling?
Yeah.
It's a theme park in the Netherlands, and it's about the same distance from Calais as going to Disneyland Paris. So if you want an alternative, it's an option that I know many of you have probably already done.
Yeah.
But
might it be closer to Rotterdam?
it would be, yeah. If you got the bus over there, it's an hour's drive from Rotterdam.
Because I like that option.
Yeah.
I've said before, I like doing the overnight on the ferry option.
Well, here's the thing. I started looking at it thinking, I quite fancy going and doing that for something a bit different. We've got no Disney holidays booked at the moment. And I mentioned it to Lucy yesterday when we were chatting at the birthday party, and she went, "Oh, do you know what? We'd definitely piggyback on that if you were going to go do something like that." So today I priced up what it would be for our two families to go for 3 days, 2 nights, staying in an apartment like a woodland house that's self-catering as well. 2 double rooms, 2 twin rooms. £1,200 all in for 7 of us. That's
very
pretty
tempting.
affordable, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's very tempting. Bonnie would love
obviously
that
there's
as
travel
well.
and stuff on top of it, but it's quite an interesting option.
Yeah.
And having watched some of the videos, there's some really well themed, good looking rides there as well, and it looks like a pretty magical place actually. And Hugh, I think you'd appreciate it, just for how kind of out there it is as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know anything about it. I've watched one video about it, but I don't know much about it.
Can I just interrupt what you're saying to say hello to little Aura? Hello, Aura. You're looking lovely today. I like that you're wearing. Are you having fun? For 2 weeks, and you're going to Disneyland Paris. That is so exciting.
That
You're
is
very
exciting.
lucky little girl.
Yeah, we also need to say hello to Jason. Now, Jason, Emma was replying to Jason when she said, Jason, Provost Park Pass, because I thought the guy was called Jason on there, but he isn't, is he? I can't remember his name actually, but she was replying to Jason, who was asking.
Jason.
Yeah, Jason was asking earlier about tips.
Okay.
So Emma was helpfully pointing out that Provost Park Pass has some tips. Hello also to Jay, who's joining us, as is Stan from the Solo Show, and there's another one. Jen Wren is also here, and anyone else that I've missed.
Magical
Steve B. Hi, Steve B.
Magical by Sarah is encouraging Chris to look at the Campanile. However, Chris has stayed at the Campanile.
I stayed at the Campanile in Marne Valley. I think there are 2, aren't there? Are there 2? I think there might be. But the one I stayed in, their food had run out on the night that we stayed there, so they did make us something, but it wasn't very good. And my experience of Campaniles in the past has always been fantastic food, cheap and cheerful, really, really good place to go. In the middle of the night, I was woken by a guy with one of those gas canisters because he'd come to get rid of the cockroaches.
Because he wanted to kill someone.
That weren't in my room, they were in somebody else's room. Was it cockroaches or was it a rat? I can't remember.
Oh my God. Either way.
When I turned the shower on in the
way.
morning, and the water was hitting the roof. Somehow hitting the roof, so I had to clean the shower head in order to be able to actually have a shower, which was pretty rank and horrible. So yeah, not the best experience of a Campanile.
I thought you were going to say you unscrewed the shower head and loads of cockroaches like swarmed out. You know, that
yeah, that
do
would
you know
have
when
been
there's that sound of plucking violin strings when something creepy happens? Like we once left a window open. Lucy did.
Sarah says that's a different one.
and a light on in the bedroom, and we got back from the pub hours later. There was just so many insects around the light fitting, and I heard that sound effect in my head, that creepy sound effect.
We certainly had a Campanile in Wakefield not so long ago on Denbydale Road. It's been there for years. I don't know if it's still active or not though. And I've stayed in one in Strasbourg years ago when we were travelling around Europe, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I know that they can be good, but my experience in that particular one was not good, good at all. And I always wonder when people mention the Campanile as being a decent hotel, I always assumed it wasn't the one that I stayed at because I knew there were 2 in the area. So that's good to know, Sarah.
Steve B, when in Denmark, went to, I've lost my place, Tivoli Gardens, where Walt got the idea for the Matterhorn. It was an unbelievable place. I recommend a visit.
Well, we had a California trip planned, not booked, just planned for my 40th, but we ended up going back to Disney World. And the idea was to do a full Disney themed thing. So we're going to do Disneyland and Tivoli Park, and then we wanted to try and get in Glendale, the Imagineering building, though it's very difficult. They only do guided tours a certain time of year. And then go up to San Francisco to go to the Disney Family Museum. That was the full plan. And to be honest, if ever we get to California, that's still the plan. Kind of hit all those spots. So if anyone else has got any more like Disney themed ideas in California beyond those 4 things, let us know. Right, I'm going to go all business now for a second, guys.
Bong.
As of the 1st of August, there's a new French law, and this makes the automatic printing of paper receipts in shops illegal. I don't know if it's illegal. They're banning it, okay?
It's
Just
quite progressive, isn't
to
it?
save paper. However, you can still request a receipt. Now, the thing about this is, a lot of shops do this already. A lot of shops say, do you want the receipt?
Yeah, but normally
Don't
that
they?
means them printing it out and then asking
it.
if you want it and then binning it.
But a lot
Doesn't
of
it?
a lot of shops it doesn't. Like even at self checkout, you click, do you want a receipt before you
Yeah.
check out?
We're
don't
getting
you?
there. We're slowly getting there.
So now in France, they definitely can't. So you can't ask for the receipt afterwards. You have to ask for the receipt. I'm not clear if the checkout people are asking you. However, if you are British and buying stuff and you want to claim your VAT back, which can be worthwhile. I know people who've got like 100 quid back if they've spent a lot of money. If you're claiming your VAT back, you have to ask for the receipt now. So this may seem like boring news, but it's quite important for anyone who's going to do that tax rebate situation.
Yeah.
Okay? You still need your receipts, so you've got to ask for them.
Got it.
Got it.
Got it. Good.
Shall I talk about fun things again?
Go on then, yeah.
Magic over Disney!
Yeah, I saw this.
Magic, magic, magic. Now, this is something they've done for many years in various different guises, and it's basically additional fireworks shows for no particular reason. So they just call it Magic over Disney. I say no particular reason, it is often attached to things. The ones that have been publicised at the moment are for Bonfire Night, but they're on the 6th and the 8th of November. Now, the thing is about that, this may not translate in French, but Bonfire Night is Bonfire Night, and we don't tend to celebrate Bonfire Night on any other day except Bonfire Night.
You say that, but
Yeah,
like if it falls on like a Tuesday, you'll get ones on the Saturday and the Sunday before, and sometimes the Saturday after.
yeah, and the Friday.
And there's a whole week of fireworks leading up to it. So you say that, but it's very much like going on around that day.
Okay. It's the biggest celebration of terrorism we've ever had. So there's one on the 6th and the 8th of November. There's also, this is very common, that they stick them in during low seasons as a little bit of an extra draw. So there's January the 17th, 22nd and 24th, 2024. Now, we went to one at the end of January. We went to a Frozen special one. And it was good, it was fun. But at the time, it was around the lake. It was very low season, and I think that the park was shutting at 7 or 8. And then the fireworks would be at, I think, 8:30 or 9.
Was it right before COVID? Was it when you went at the end of January?
It was the end of
2020.
January 2020. And it was good. It was a little extra something. I don't think it would make me book a holiday, but it's certainly worth going. But as people were pointing out, because it was around Lake Disney, it was basically free entry. Now, I think that was smart because it's going to get locals and people in a driving area. It might just get them to come around and spend some money in Disney Village they otherwise wouldn't get. But on the other hand, it's Disney giving stuff away for free. So these days, this Magic over Disney, it is basically a pre-show to Dreams in the park at the castle, which I think takes away from it. It just makes it a longer fireworks show as opposed to an additional or a separate or a special fireworks show. But it is one that you won't see any other time of year, so you do get to see that special something.
Nice.
Do I have anything else to say about that? No.
No.
Has anyone else been to a Magic over Disney event? Have you been to one on the lake? Have you been to one in the park? Did you prefer it one way or the other? We quite liked it around the lake.
Sugar Sweet Samantha says, I did that Frozen one too, but watched it from the window of Sequoia Lodge whilst drinking champagne.
You see, there you go. That's a plus point, isn't it? It was a lot easier to get good viewing spots on the one round the lake, and then just go straight back to your room. We were staying at Sequoia at the time. And yeah, we really liked it there. I'm a bit disappointed it'll be in the park. Not that I will be there for any of this, so.
Academic.
There we are.
Right. I'm going to do one more piece of news, then you guys have to talk about something, because I'm getting very croaky.
Okay.
Oh, better think of something, Chris.
I am not prepared for this.
I am.
This is kind of like when I had to give a speech at my dad's birthday party yesterday.
Oh, no. Right. On the evening of September the 28th this year, there will be a flyover display from La Patrouille de France. Now that is basically, yeah? Are you agreeing with my pronunciation? La Patrouille de France. From what I've read, it's basically the French equivalent of the Red Arrows. So it is the aerobatics unit of the French Air and Space Force. Okay, so they do all the formation flying and the stuff, and they have coloured smoke coming out the back of the bums.
Very nice.
Yeah, and that's just the pilots. So they will be doing this over the Disney Hotel New York Art of Marvel. But as I'm sure you're aware, if it's a flyover, you're going to see it from anywhere you are in that vicinity. And it's for the Association Rêves Gala Dinner, and that is the Dreams Association, and it's basically the equivalent of what we have as the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's for severely chronically ill children who have wishes come true. What's going on?
We're just sorting out a buzzing
sound.
Is it this again?
It will be. It'll be this microphone and that lead. Yeah. I think it needs replacing.
Okay. Right, I'm just going to carry on talking.
Apologies, guys, and apologies to you podcasters as well, who listen, because obviously when you're listening, the buzz will be really apparent.
So it's a gala dinner, and I suspect, I was trying to find information about this gala dinner and I couldn't, but I suspect because it is a not-for-profit charity organisation, it'll be a fundraising event for very rich patrons, and it'll be a closed-door ticket event. It's one of those things where they put on the bells and whistles to try and convince people to part with the checkbooks, basically. But this is a bonus because this is one of those things that the rich and famous get to enjoy that we can all enjoy, because it'll be in the sky above your head. So if you are there on the 28th of September, make sure you position yourself. Not sure what time yet, I will try to keep you updated, but position yourself outside the Hotel New York during the gala dinner and see if you can spot this flyover. Perum. Pauline says, Mr. Aeroplane expert in our house said your pronunciation is spot on. Yay! And they are indeed the equivalent of the Red Arrows. Booyah. I win. Right. Oh, it's slightly better, Chris, Pauline says. Huey, can you talk about something that excites you about Disneyland so I can take a sip of my drink?
It's a big question. Very big question.
It's not better. It's no better.
Some would say it's the biggest question of all. Some would say it's not the big a deal. Some would say it's kind of in the middle of those two things you just said. Others would say, I wasn't listening. Could you repeat the question?
All right, I've had my drink now, so I can carry on. Nathan has just arrived and he's saying 25 days till DLP. Ah! Love you guys. Oh, we love you too, Nathan. We do, with all our heart and soul. His aura's still there. Still enjoying yourself, chicken. Right. Do we have any trip reports?
We have no trip reports. No, we have nothing.
We got a shout out.
We do have a shout out, yes, in fact. So, just a quick thank you. But we've had 3 new Patreon pals, Disney Street pals this week. And I had them listed. One of them is called Somebody. And the other one has another name as well.
Hi, another name.
So we've got Olga, Team Confetti.
Oh, yeah.
Who was chatting with us last week in the chat. There's Danielle as well, and there's Lauren. So thanks, guys, for your support. Thank you very, very much. We're having an EMT show tonight as well.
We do.
We have one ready to go.
We're having chats about zhuzhing up the Patreon thing a bit, aren't we?
Yes. In fact, I asked the Patreon types, the Disney Street pals, a few weeks ago what they'd like to see, what kind of changes, and also asked them a little bit about this show as well and things that they'd like to see. So we've got some stuff, but what we need to do is find some time when you're back from Disney to have a bit of a conflab.
Yeah.
And and see what we can do to add a bit more magic and sparkle to everybody's lives. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, for your support. But as new Patreon pals, you are entitled to a shout out on the show. And Lauren has been in touch, hasn't she, Hugh?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just waving at her again because she's waving back at me.
Was this in our messenger chat? Yes, it was. I've got it here. So, Lauren gets in touch and says, absolutely love the show and very much look forward to listening every week. After our recent trip this May, my little girl, Evelyn, too, often asked for the Little Girl at Disneyland videos in reference to the Rain's DLP vlogs when Bonnie was little.
Oh, we
That's
like the
sweet.
little Bonnie videos.
Could I have a shout out to George and Evelyn in the style of Mickey? Hi, George. And Evelyn. Gosh, we're so glad to have you along.
Hi, George and Evelyn.
Oh, I like it when you do impressions, Hugh.
Asterisk not official. Do we have to say that? I don't know. Yeah.
Right, something we've got to talk about. We will be en route to Disneyland Paris next Sunday, Hugh and I, and Chris and I are trying to... Hugh is working all week. So Chris and I are trying to figure out a time when we can pre-record a podcast. However, what we will do is we will pre-record a podcast for next week, but then we will set it as a premiere. So it comes up bang on 8:30 and you can still live chat, and we can be in the hotel room live chatting, can't we? I think at that time.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And
if
you
you're
can-
there, and I can be there. Yes.
Yeah, so we will be there too, but we might have to pre-record it. But if that doesn't happen, I think we need to have the next discussion now. Is we promised we'd have a discussion of all the things we've never done that are new at Disney. That's kind of on our to-do list.
Can I give you some things that I want you to do? As
Yes, and Hugh's going to write them down, aren't you, Hughie?
Well? Oh.
Apparently
Well,
so.
you started last week, that's why I'm
Oh,
saying
yes, I
that.
wrote down 2 things I wanted to do on our next trip.
Do you want to start with those 2 things then?
We could do.
Do it.
The first thing was pineapple whip float.
Yes.
And this is replacing the Dole Whip. And they're going back to the pineapple whip float, which I prefer. I'm sorry I do. It's just soft serve with pineapple like sauce on it.
Wasn't it a mango whip before though?
Yes, it was.
So it's not quite gone back, has it?
No, but before that was the pineapple whip float.
Right.
Then it changed to mango, which is the best.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Because at first I was like, what, they've replaced it for mango? And then I tasted the mango and I went, oh. Do you know when Joey goes, uh-oh, when he gets a bit of that brownie? It was like that, and I was all about the mango whip then. But then it was Dole Whip.
Which was good. It was very
which was
good.
fine, yeah. And now it's back to pineapple whip float. So that's obviously number 1 on the list. So I'll probably have two of those. Yeah, two max. And the other thing I want to do is I want to go to Bella Notte because we've never been, and also they've got the new Luca theming. And it looks quite cool, so I want to go there. And I think that'll be an easy sell for like Bonnie to have something other than chicken nuggets.
And probably the other family that we're going with will appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, however, can't eat anything on the menu except garlic bread. So I might go and get a portion of fries somewhere else. We'll see.
There'll be something for you. Maybe you can get a carbonara. The Solo Show saying, so no longer sponsored by Dole then. Apparently not. It's strange, isn't it? Like it wasn't in the parks for ages, and then it was for a little bit, and now it's gone again.
It'll be a European licensing thing. I think that's what it was to start with. Oh, Emma's telling me there's a cheese pasta too. That's good because there didn't used to be.
I might
So
even
that's
get
good.
that. Sounds. Do you know what? I'm hungry now. And you just saying cheese pasta, just my mouth just filled with saliva. Excuse me.
I want to do Stark Factory. For dinner. I also want to do the new Pixar show. Oh, well, that's a no-brainer. It might be that you and the other family don't, and me and Bonnie go and do it because I know you're not as into shows.
I'm gonna see the new show though.
You come and see the new show?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I
cool.
think you have to go see that.
Yeah, it's just once I've done it, I tend not to want to go and do it again. You know, like Mickey the Magician. Once was enough. It's great, but like I say, I don't need to see another version of The Lion King.
I would see Mickey and the Magician every time if the lines weren't so bonkers. No, Steve, I don't mean Pim Kitchen. We went to Pim Kitchen last time, but we didn't go to Stark Factory. which is the quick service round the corner. So I want to try. I want to go in and have a look at the theming because apparently
It's got Agent
brilliant.
Carter's desk,
Office,
and you can office, and you can sit around a desk. It's got
And there's loads of Easter eggs on the walls, like for her pinboard
Yeah.
and stuff, isn't there? So,
and the Hulkbuster armor is
Yeah.
is in there as well.
so I definitely want to go in, even if we don't eat. But I want to go and check that out.
There's always so many things you want to do, and you just don't get around to them. There's like a bunch of things. Like I want to go to Billy Bob's again.
Well,
I just not Billy Bob's. Cowboy Cookout.
You always want to go to Cowboy Cookout,
do, I
and
just
I'm
want
not as bothered.
Barbecue chicken and chips is simple, and I like it.
I think-
I like cowboy things.
I always kill myself with meat. That's what it is. I like the atmosphere.
Here come the meat sweats.
I like the place, but it's like it's half a chicken, or it's ribs, or it's like that Cumberland sausage, and it always gives me intestinal ache from just meat.
intestinal ache.
Intestinal ache. I don't digest heavy foods well.
get that on a t-shirt.
It's a good name for a metal band.
But I mean, if that's where you want to go, I'd go with you. But don't forget, there's a new menu at Hakuna Matata, and that has historically been our family favourite quick service. I think it's safe to say. Is it safe to say that, Huey?
What was it safe to say?
Hakuna Matata is our family favourite quick service.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
But the where, sorry, Hakuna Matata?
Hakuna Matata.
But the back of Colonel Hathaway's is your favourite place to sit, though.
That's favourite to sit, but we
Yeah.
tend to like get a Magnum
yeah.
and sit around there, so it's not like somewhere we'd get for a meal.
I want to do it all. I want to go to Colonel Hathaway's and eat there as well. I like it there.
They might have a new menu as well. Am I mentioning that?
Yeah, they
and then,
changed
of
it up,
course,
didn't
as Fuente del Oro is now Coca Cafe de Familia or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's got a new
Casa
menu.
de Familia?
Casa de Familia. And someone tagged me in a photo this week of chicken balls with Laughing Cow sauce.
Yes. That
And I'm like, oh yeah.
awesome. Full.
Boom, boom, boom.
So shall I tell you what I want you to do?
Yes.
So there's two things. Firstly, you know I collect the coins.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a Newport Bay one. A new Newport Bay one. So if you manage at some point to take a little bit of a wander over there,
Walk around the lake.
that would be great.
Well, we're not far from there.
No.
It's next door.
And also, I think we're overdue an explore of the lobby and the gift shop anyway, don't you?
No, I've never set foot in that place.
Well, there you are.
I have, but I
No.
need to go back.
Now's your excuse to do that on the trail of coins. The other thing, I'd like you to go and try and trade one of his fake pins and see if you can get away with it.
Oh, do you know what? Oh, it would be
There's
so
no
awkward.
Chance, though. There's no chance, Chris.
No, so what I'd be doing,
Honestly.
I know, but I just want to do it just for the experience.
if you don't know what we're talking about, Walt Disney World will trade anything and it's fine. Even though a lot of serious collectors would say don't knowingly trade fake pins. You just polluting the market.
Told you I don't care.
But most of those boards are full of scrappers and fakes anyway, so I would swap like for like, so I don't mind doing that. At DLP, they won't have it. They'll just say, no, I cannot accept this, he's fake, no. So what I'd be doing is I would be going up there with a fake pin and just seeing how awkward I could make it, which would be funny, but I don't think, like, it sounds easy to say, but I don't think I could bear it, unless I was drunk.
no, and then
Oh.
I don't find them like polite about it either. They're very dismissive. They're very French about it. It's like, no, go away with your
Careful.
fake pins.
Yeah, don't do that.
Do you know what it's a bit like? In my head, I'm comparing it to, you know, in Harry Potter, how they have the age line, and the Weasley twins keep trying to get over the age line by like drinking aging potions and putting fake beards on and stuff. And every time they try to go over the line, it just spits them out. That's what it's like trying to trade a pin at Disneyland Paris. I'd get one off my lanyard and go, "Can I trade this?
Is this
No.
okay?" And also, they won't. They'll only swap like how would you put it? Like tier for tier as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like if it's a top tier pin, they won't swap a little cheap one, even if they're all official. Which at Disney World they will. But they will say, "No, this is not worth what this is worth." So no.
So you know that's what's going to happen, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not being funny. But if you check in the chat right now, this is the content that people want to see.
It would be funny.
It doesn't have to be funny. You just
you know what?
play it entirely
Thing is,
serious.
it would also have to be a bit hidden camera because it
Yes,
would
it
be
would,
it
it
would be
would.
a weird exchange to just point a camcorder at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I walked up there all brazen like I was just some idiot, I could do it as Daz.
Are you sold on it now?
Because I can do things as Daz because it's not me. Daz is an alter ego that always goes on holiday with us and does his own series of videos. If you look up my name, Hugh Rain, and Daz, there's a whole playlist of Daz on holiday with his mates, often going to Disneyland and Disney World. And if Daz walks up and goes, "Ollie, can I swap? Do you take these at all? Yeah, why not? Oh, hey, is that not real? Oh no, I didn't know. Did you know, Gaz?" And then Gaz will off screen will go, "Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah." Oh no, that's Baz. Sorry, that's Baz. Anyway, so I might be able to do it as Daz, possibly. I'm scared. I'm worried about going into that little.
Stan says from the solo show, bring a Doctor Who pin or something like that to trade. And then he says, or better yet, I'll send you a solo show pin for you to trade. See if they'd take it. Oh, do you know what? I actually have some like proper pins from Disney World that I would be willing to trade because I got like the 2023 pins, but I got like 3 of them. You know, you get sets, so I could trade the other 2, and they are legit pins, and they might be worth something. But it's such an icky situation in Paris. I don't recommend people take up pin trading in Paris. I recommend you take up pin buying. Yes. I'm all for that, but pin trading is quite awkward, to be honest.
You could trade with fellow traders.
Yeah.
That happened to us outside the Cars ride.
It did.
A guy with a little satchel walked past and
all you say
Lucy
is, no, I don't really want that one. Do you
Yeah.
want that one? And so it's a bit more, informal and chatty. But, yeah.
Scottish Claire was behind a Daz personalised number plate in a traffic jam last week, and we passed the time by doing Daz and Baz impressions.
Yes!
Oh, that's brilliant.
He's getting his own cult following.
He's famous.
Finally.
That's amazing. Right, what else do we want to do on this trip?
Have we said Flight Force? You're going to go and redo Flight Force, aren't you?
Hugh's going to redo Flight Force with Kat.
With Kat, good. 'Cause I want to know how it's changed.
I want to do web slingers as many times as is logistically possible. Now, that might be once, let's be honest.
Lucy, be warned, I know what to do this time, because I thought we were playing as a team and not individually, so I was just kind of messing around.
Also, I got...
But now it's on.
Chronic tendonitis in my wrists for like 2 weeks afterwards. Do you remember, Huey? I couldn't like grip anything because I've been doing that so hard.
Sounds like an excuse to me, Lucy.
Solo shows, always tempted to just leave a solo show pin on the pin boards at Walt Disney World. You got to be careful though, because
leave one.
Like if they see you like messing around near the pin board and they're watching, they'll stop you, won't they? You know, they like to see the pins coming and going off the board, don't they? They seem to monitor them very very closely. So you got to be fast, Stan.
It's my favourite thing at Walt Disney World is pin trading. It's just whenever you see one in a shop, me and Bonnie like buzz over and we've both got things we're looking for. It's the best thing.
Alex says web slingers is so unreliable in terms of breaking down, or
in terms of aim, I think.
I found it all right. I told you about Ollie flinging his 3D glasses out because he was playing so hard, didn't I? He literally went bang like that, and these glasses just flew out.
Oh,
and he spent the rest of the ride crying about it.
Oh no, I can imagine.
Alex says breakdowns.
Oh, breakdowns, yeah. I think the second day with that, the first day we won't get into parts till like 11 a.m. and I think the second day is going to be our Avengers Campus day, and we're going to go in and go straight there and do it first thing. And we're probably going to spend as much time as we can in Avengers Campus till everybody gets bored. But we're going with a 5-year-old Spider-Man fanatic.
Yeah, do try and book one of the photo experiences, the Spider-Man one on that day. Make sure you're on the app as soon as they open out. The slots come out.
Speaking of breakdowns,
say bye to Aura and Ellie because they're
good night.
They're going to have a great trip. It says Jen.
Night. Have a good
Can't
trip.
wait to hear about it.
Yeah.
Have a lovely time.
You have a good trip. You too.
Sleep tight.
Speaking of breakdowns, I broke down on Dumbo last time we went. I don't know why, I just started crying.
It was just so beautiful.
Ooh. There's been upgrades to Small World.
Oh yeah, I want you to come back with 5 differences. I want you to spot. I want you to
Five
spot
differences.
5 differences in
Spots,
It's a
5
Small
differences.
World.
Spots, 5.
What a great game.
I wanted to say 10, but minimum 5. See how many differences you can find.
So,
Do I even take the pins along with me? Do I take one pin and... do you know what would be funny? If I took... Not only I took a scrapper... Oh, no, sorry, it's not the scrapper, it's a fake. If I took one of the worst ones... although I'm collecting the bad ones, but they're not going to take... You know, like the Buckeye one, which is like what we'd call a conker.
yeah.
I kept seeing this brown one on all these bars, and I eventually...
But it's legit though, isn't it?
I eventually said, "What is that?" And the guy said, "Oh, it's a Buckeye." I was like, "Oh yeah, right, okay." But I've got a fake version of it though.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's not. The colours are wrong.
Who would forge that?
Jen LaForge. No, she wouldn't. She's not a pin badge forger.
She's a good girl.
She's a good vlogger and lifestyle person.
Steve B says, I love pin trading, but buy pins I don't want to trade. That's exactly the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the idea is that you buy you're supposed to buy lots, aren't you, so you can trade them. But then to buy a lot of official pins would be so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they do sell like sets of 4 and 6 with lanyards, don't they? But that's not going to take you very far in the pin trading world, isn't 4 pins?
Thing is, Steve, I am starting a collection of the worst pins. I want to have the worst pin collection of all. So, like, do you know the one that's been on the board for 3 weeks and no one takes it? I'm taking that. I'm having it.
I love how perverse this is.
Yeah, I'm a freak.
In terms of parades, we were there when the Dream and Shine Brighter parade was on last time, but we never saw it stop in the hub. So maybe we're going to try and time it to watch it in the hub. That's something. Is there anything else entirely new for us? I mean, there's other things we want to do because we want to do them, but I'm trying to think of new experiences.
The illuminations are different now, aren't they?
Dreams?
Yeah.
And I think that... Dreams. We do find fireworks difficult, as you know. We've talked about at length, but that's something worth thinking about. And also, because we're on site for the first time in forever, one or more of us could walk back at 11 o'clock at night.
Glow-teenies, you should have glow-teenies somewhere.
Oh, I've never had a glow-teenie, and it's been on my list for ages.
What else can you do?
Well, there's other new things like the Princess Breakfast, but we're not forking out for that this time.
No.
Tell me new things, guys.
The Solo Show says the trip to pin trading in Orlando is to visit the outlet mall and buy the discounted ones first.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And don't care what they are, just buy them. They tend to be like
Like at
Galaxy's Edge ones.
Like at the warehouse, the character warehouse shop. Yeah. Nate says I only trade for Donald pins, and DLP is really devoid of Donald anything / everything.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Kenville 14 says Dreams and Shine Brighter parade is the best. In the Central Plaza, as the parade comes towards you, is the best. The characters come off stage and get high fives. Cool. We're going to get in the hub. We're going to time it. We're going to look at the other thing is, I always forget to look at the schedule. I tell everyone else to. This advice I give you. But when we're busy queuing and looking at rides and stuff, I always kind of lose track of when we're about to parade.
I just gasped. John said there's a Buzz Lightyear eclair in
Oh,
studio.
yeah, I've seen that. Yes, there is.
You're talking my language.
I
Buzz
think,
Leclerc, that's his name, isn't it?
What about you if
Yeah.
you try and run onto the stage at some point during one of the parades and propose to Lucy?
Yeah.
It's
Let's
a
do
bit
that as well.
late.
I know,
No,
still
but
it'd be
yeah,
fun.
but see if they're still snatching rings out of people's hands.
Oh, goodness, yes.
Yeah.
I'd like you to go around and be really nice to everybody all day, like everybody, particularly people
Like
that
really
you dislike.
sunny?
Yeah.
That makes
Like-
me feel tired.
Try and
Smile on your face. Create an
spread
alter
some
ego.
Pixie dust.
Daz's really happy, jolly southern friend.
My friend once was talking to a guy on a dance floor. We were out on a work thing, and she brought some guy over, some random guy, and he started to make his way around the table, shaking hands, and I couldn't be bothered looking at him. I thought, I don't want to be a friend. So the only way I could deal with him was to create an alter ego called Damien. And I just kept it up all night. And at one point, this guy said, "I don't think Damien likes me." Because I couldn't bear to speak to him. So the only way to make it interesting was to become somebody else. And I did. Is this normal? Is this normal?
He's a strange guy, isn't he?
Do you see what I have to live with?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm not sure whether...
Multi-personality, but every single one of them is antisocial. Go and buy a choco bar and see how long it takes you.
A choco, yeah. Do you know what? I would like to go in and get a choco blast and just see if we can just go it, because they want it's set up so that they want you to go in and sit down and they give you a menu and stuff, don't they? But I'd like to be able to. I want to see if we can go in and just get one and go. Hi, I want a choco blast and I want it to go
now.
Bye.
Pronto.
Stan from the Solo Show has said the Halloween decorations are finally up in Walt Disney World. Does DLP decorate for Halloween? Yes, it does, and it's majestic.
Not this early, though.
It's usually the last week in September when it decorates.
Sensible.
The difference is, and this is kind of a cultural thing, is that Halloween is still, in Europe particularly, mainland Europe particularly, is still more associated with like harvest, festival kind of times. So you do have scarecrows, bales of corn, and that kind of pastoral kind of decorations compared to the more kind of witches and vampires kind of thing. However, I think that, and it largely takes place in Frontierland for that reason, that it fits quite well. They also go into the Mexican Day of the Dead stuff a bit.
We do still have witches and ghosts and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They have ghosts on Main Street.
Main Street sticks.
Yeah, you just sort of lean more towards farming.
Yeah, which I like. I find it really kind of homey and cozy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as neon.
Which is a nice contrast to how freezing cold it generally is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, do you remember last Halloween, Chris, how much it rained?
Oh, yeah.
We went out with some friends around here and it bucketed it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
soaked.
But it was fun. It was enjoyable. The kids didn't mind. It was kind of, made it memorable.
Do you know, the boys have already decided what they want to wear this year for Halloween, and it's they're both going as rebel pilots because of those jackets that
Nice.
we got sent.
Oh, yeah, got sent some from a friend, didn't we?
Yeah.
A pal.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right, I think those are like the big things. We're going to make sure we check as many off as we can. Thing is, we've got a lot of quick service restaurants to visit, and I think that we're going to want some sit-down meals, and we're only there for limited time, so I don't know if we'll get to all those.
Also, we're with a family who it's their second time, and, you know, we don't just want to dominate with what we want to do and push them around and say, we're going here now, we're going here, we're going. So it's, you know, we need to be able to
let them steer a bit.
Ooh.
to roll with the changes.
I tell you what we might do. We are going with
Flexibility.
I want to say 10-month-old baby. No, younger, 8 months.
Something like that.
Is it November-ish?
Yeah, I think so.
November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. 9 months. Split the difference. 9-month-old baby. So we're going to be able to look at the baby changing facilities, warming up bottles, microwaving mush food, that kind of thing.
Exciting.
Which we've never been able to look at before because the first time we went was with a 2-year-old. So we'll report back, so we'll have information for that for anyone that's useful for. We're staying at Sequoia Lodge, not Compass Club.
Remind everyone when you go.
Golden Forest, sorry.
We're going in a week.
We go next Sunday. We're staying one night at the airport and then getting a transfer very early on Monday morning.
Until when?
Until Thursday.
Till Thursday. Nice.
And we are spending most of the day in the parks on Thursday. I don't think we have to leave till about 4 p.m.
Oh, brilliant.
It's weird that last day, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
really
it's hanging over you, and as the clock watcher of the family, it's probably worse for me because I'm constantly, you know,
Yeah.
saying.
Especially when you're driving.
Once it
and-
gets to about 2:30, if we're leaving at 4 and it gets to 2:30, that last hour and a half is so like, do we have time for this? Can we do that?
Does
One
Bonnie
more
get really
this?
upset as well?
Well,
'Cause
here's
the boys do.
here's a tip for people taking young kids. Always keep them updated because you take it for granted. We went to see Mickey's, what is it? PhilharMagic. And as we got out, we said to Bonnie, right, we're going now. And she started crying because we hadn't actually told her. We knew between us
this is the last thing,
that this was the last thing. She didn't, and it was a shock to her. And she was quite distressed. So keep them updated. You know, even if they're like 5, 4, 3, you know, let them know.
Pauline has a gorgeous crystal Donald I got from the shop next to the Lego store because we fell in love with the duck when we were there. Oh.
I've just had a flashback to the Disney Blues. It's horrible the day you leave, isn't it? It just really hit me like, no, I remember that.
The first time we missed, we left Walt Disney World. We shouldn't have done this. We watched the fireworks, and that was meant to be the last thing. And rather than go home, we said, should we have one more walk around the park and say goodbye? Thinking that'd be nice. And Bonnie, like, racking sobbed all the way around. Every time we were like, bye-bye, Dumbo. Bye-bye, Small World. I don't know why. Do you know what? Looking back now, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
How did I think that was all right? She was really, really upset. Anyway, Hilda says, I can never meet Hugh. We are so nice in Texas. Yeah. Honestly.
Poor Hugh.
I am very, very nice in real life. I am, aren't I?
You are, yeah.
He is,
You're lovely.
He is.
I'm a high-functioning grump.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be lovely to you, and I'm jolly and all the good things.
Yeah.
Sell
Nate-
yourself, Hugh.
Nate says Crystal Donald, which is making me think of Crystal Duck.
Yeah.
Flannan. If you don't know what that is, then we can't be friends.
Always have a last look back at the
Flannan.
castle. Kenville14 says we tend to stay at a cheap off-site hotel on the last day so we can have a full day in the park and then drive home fresh the next day.
Yeah.
That's a good tip. You like to do that on the way there, don't you?
Yeah, so we could be in first thing on the first day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Right. Shall I do our little sign out then?
Yeah, do it. We're going to do
Push the button.
what they call it now, aren't we?
Extra.
Patreon.
Patreon show. So those of you who have the link, go get it. Those of you who don't have the link,
Go get it.
and aren't Patreon pals but would like to be, have a look in the description below, and there's a link there, and you can come and join us for some fun and frolics. And we'll talk about stuff, goings on in the world of Disney.
Give us a like. Come on.
Yeah, punch that like button, y'all.
Just to give a little teaser, there's in the
I've
world
just liked it.
in the world of Disney podcasts, there's been some drama with another channel that's not in any way associated with us, but if you follow them, you might know what I mean.
Quite serious.
Been some serious
Yeah.
drama.
Goings on.
I'm going to touch on that. That's just trying to make people join. So yeah, hit the like and subscribe button.
Bottom.
Ooh.
I've been Lucy. These were
I pressed the button.
Bye-bye.
Listeners, you don't want to know what she just did. The gesture was appalling. Bye, everyone.
I'm so sorry.